Hey guys, I'm back with a new video today. In today's video, I'm back with some more Genshin Impact. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Razor, and I'm going to convince you guys why to pull for Razor or put him in your main team or your secondary team. So let's jump right into it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go. Now, if you guys have been watching me for a while, you guys would know that I have been maining Razor from the start. I'm mainly free to play. I spent $100 once on some roles and they were awful. The videos on my channel if you want to check that out, but mainly I've been free to play. And I was saving my Prima Gems for him because I knew it was coming out. So I saved like 6,000 Prima Gems and I got all his constellations. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my Razor and why you guys should get a Razor in your team. So let's just go right into it and let's talk about Razor. I'm going to be short with the talents. If you guys need to know, there's a lot of guys out there on it, but I'm going to go through the talents real quick. His most important talent is his Elemental Burst, which is his Lightning Fang, which spawns a stand power basically, and you do faster attacks, both electro and normal physical attack damage, and basically it is the main reason that Razor's output damage is so high is because of the Lightning Fang. His second most important skill is his normal attack, which is unusual because mainly would be his elemental skill, but it's normal attack. His normal attack outputs a lot of damage, physical damage, depending on how you build him, of course. But my Razor for him is this skill is very important. Now, the last skill, which is Claw Thunder, is his elemental skill. Now, you can use it in two ways. You can press it, do a quick slash on your enemy, or you can hold it to do a huge long AoE with that burst electro damage. But I like to only click it, but I will tell you guys why in a second. So right now, these are my current levels. I'm mainly focusing his Lightning Fang upgrades, and then I'm going to focus his normal attack upgrades, and then I'm going to leave Cloud Thunder till last. But let's talk about why these skills are important for him. If we jump to her constellations real quick, we can see that whenever Razor uses his claw attack, his elemental skill, he gets an orb. When Razor gets an orb, if you have constellations on him, he will gain DPS every time he gets an orb. If it's past 8 seconds, it increases by 10%, which is really good, and you can constantly have it up at all if you keep using the elemental skill as a press. That's how I use it. But also, if you click on Sharp Claws, if you have this constellation, not Sharp Claws, sorry, Bite. If you have Bite constellation, the fourth constellation, if you use the skill, elemental skill, the enemy's defense will decrease by 15%. So not only will it give Razor an attack boost, it will also decrease the enemy's defense, so you will be able to unleash more damage. You usually use this skill, switch to your elemental burst, and just go ham on the enemy. Now, his other constellations are great. He has one of the best constellations I've seen. When you fight an enemy, they're below 30% HP, your crit increases. So potentially you can have up to 70-80% crit versus hard boss enemies that have high HP, so when they drop below 30%. These two skills just increases Lightning Fang and Claw Thunder level. And the last but not least, Lupus Fulguris. His last constellation is insane. Because why is insane, I'm going to explain to you guys right now, so pay attention. Every 10 seconds, Razor's weapon charges up and it unleashes electro damage that is 100% of his normal attack. Okay, what that Razor's attack. So basically what it means is it will, like, it gets electro effect and it will deal electro damage depending on its attack. So why this is a great constellation for Razor, especially for me, is because my Razor is built physical damage build. So what that means is I am more focused on his physical damage than electro damage, but having that constellation, that attack power will be just the same for electro damage. So if you're fighting different elements, it will work great to have him full physical build with that constellation. But even if you don't have any constellation, he's great. He does incredible damage, and what is incredible with him, he can fight any element. That's why he's so viable in any teams that you put him in. He can fight any element. He can fight Electro just as good, not just as good, but he can literally destroy all Electro bosses by himself because of his physical damage. And any other elements, of course. If he fights Cryo, he gets Super Conduct. If he fights Pyro, he gets Overload. He can basically go with any element and fight any type of bosses. Now, I have given him the Gladiator set. This is the best set for him, so I will highly advise you guys to get the Glad set. It is hard to get the Glad set because The drop rates are low. You can't use condensed resin. It's very expensive. But I am trying my best to get a good glass head for him. I've not been that lucky so far. But let's look at my stats real quick. What you want to do for his flower is you want to have crit rate, attack, and crit damage. That's the 3 sub-stats you want to have on him. Crit rate, or attack first, crit rate, and crit damage. Those are the 3 stats you want to have. I don't have it on him. I don't have any good flowers. I've been farming and grinding, but this is my temporary flower I'm going to have on him. It's not a great one. But let's go to the next one. Next one is same thing. As you guys see, I'm using a 4-star feather on him, which is not good at all because I cannot find a good 5-star feather for him. All of my feathers are really bad. Like, look at this, it gives defense. Look at this, give HP. They're really bad. So I'm trying to get the best draw for him because I like my Razor. I want him to have the perfect stats. So I'm going to be patient and I'm going to try again, get an attack percent, crit damage, and crit. That's what I want on his stats. Next one is Gladiator's Longing. So again, it's level 16 only. I haven't maxed it because I'm going to replace this. This is an awful piece. I want to get crit rate, attack, and crit damage on it. Now, when it comes to this goblet, this is an incredible goblet right here. Look at this. Physical damage, 58%. That's what you want to have in this goblet. You want to have physical damage on him. And his main stat, and then crit damage, attack, crit rate. Perfect. That's what I wanted. This is the perfect goblet for him. Then last piece is the helm. The circlet. Here you can have either attack or crit depending on your stats. You can have main stat crit or attack. It's all on you. But the substats should be crit, attack, or crit damage again. So I don't have it. I want to replace this in the future. But just look at my artifacts. They're not that great, right? They're not that great. And now I'm going to show you why he's that great. Later in the video, I'm going to show his combat. And I will show you, even with these not optimal artifacts, this guy is incredible. So let's look at his weapon I'm using right now is Skyward Pride. Skyward Pride is a great second best option for him. The first best option is the Wolf Gravestone that you could have gotten in the previous banner, I think. Weapon banner. But this one is really good. Now, why it's so good is because the base attack, first of all, it gives high attack. Energy recharge is super good to get his elemental burst. And then the passive of this is incredible. So if you look at the passive, it will increase all damage by 8% no matter what, as long as you're wearing the sword. But after using an elemental burst, guys, every normal charge hit, basically all his attacks, because Razor is the best when he's in his elemental burst, right? So all his hits will make a vacuum blade that does 80% of attack as damage to the enemies. So it will literally give you even higher DPS numbers because of the output of DPS you're doing with his elemental burst. And remember, his elemental burst is his main attack where he outputs most DPS. So adding to that damage is amazing. But if you guys can't afford it, you want a cheaper version or a cheaper sword, go for the Prototype Aminos. Great sword. I've been using this up till like a week ago. It works great with Razor 2. Gives double attack, gives good attack overall. Works great with him. But that is weapons. But let's talk about his con now. I've talked about really good stuff about Razor, but his worst part about him is his con, which is that he needs a lot of time out of the field because of his elemental burst. Now, this is an easy fix to it. Like, if you guys see my team right now, I have my team built around Razor. Jinglang, her elemental skill, elemental burst, requires absolutely no time at all. So she can go, I can switch back to Razor anytime and just pick up the Goba and do his critable damage. Diona, same thing. I can add Cryo Effect, switch to Razor, add Super Conduct, decrease enemies' defenses, and then you just go on with Razor and do his burst. Bennett works great with him because he can add that damage increase with his elemental burst, or Venti that I usually have with him works also great with him if you have the artifact with the swirl effect that increases his damage overall. Now, if you want to learn about how you can work best with Razor, there is some tricks to him. Now, some tips you guys can use if you guys have Razor is learning how to cancel your animations. So for example, what I like to do is when I hit the target, on the 4 hit, I dash forward, or on the 4 hit, I follow up with an elemental skill attack to cancel the animation so I can deal more damage and be faster with my attacks, which is really helpful and will help you guys in battle. Now, that is what you can do with the normal attacks following with the elemental skill. Now, if you want if you have your elemental burst ready like me, what you guys can do is you can follow or start up with a short elemental skill attack, switch to the burst, do another elemental skill attack, and then on the 4th hit you dash. So let me just show you guys properly. 1 2 3 4, I dash where I use the elemental skill. Again, you cancel the animation so I can use the elemental burst to the fullest. So learn how to cancel your animations and it will be super helpful for you in battle. Now I'm going to show you guys Razor with his full team. I'm going to challenge the level 90 Childy, and I'm going to show you guys how he works so well with this team. And again, these numbers are ridiculous, guys. Now keep in mind, this is not going to be 100% accurate because my support DPSs and my team do some damage to his child before I bring out Razor, but I'm going to try to record or time when Razor enters his elemental burst and see how fast he quickly finish off child with his team. Now this is just to give you guys an understanding of how ridiculous Razor is if you combine him with the correct team. And it will, even though child's HP is not full and the seconds may be lower than usual, you guys can clearly see what message I'm trying to give here with Razor. So guys, I have shown you guys how he works with the team, how he works with another Electro enemy. So now I'm going to show you guys how Razor is just by himself. Okay, with no one to help him. Now I'm going to use Pyro to destroy this guy's shield. But then just to show you guys how good he is just by himself. You see my animation canceling? It's just like, this is just raw damage from Razor. Like nobody else to help him, and he's just basically killing a whole cryo flower by himself. Again, very simple, very easy, with no help or any teammates. He can kill a whole cryo flower level 90 with one burst. And then as you guys can see, his elemental burst is almost ready again and ready to go. So overall, if you guys haven't seen from this video so far, Razor is an incredible character. If I were you guys, I would get him in the banner that is currently active, and you guys will not be disappointed. If you guys want more info on Razor or my other characters, make sure you guys like, subscribe. I will be making an updated guide on them. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I hopefully see you guys next time.